Morning, boys and girls. I left you with Bob just finding his sister. This chapter is called Catching Up. We lick each other, sniff, yelp, circle, and wrestle. Neither of us was ever the touchy-feely sort, but sometimes you just gotta let it all out. Wow, says Cowboy watching us. You'd think they knew each other. Tough. Boss isn't anything like I remember. She's scrawny and flea-covered. Her left ear has a big notch in it. Her fur is dull, her body scarred, her tail cut short. I'm afraid to ask how that happened. She's had it tough, really tough. I thought I heard your bark, I say, but then it stopped. Figured I was crazy. I was napping. In this chaos, I ask? I can sleep anywhere. It's a gift. Boss nibbles on a toenail. Funny thing is, I was having a dream about you. Must have caught a whiff of you in my sleep. I can't stop staring. Boss, here, with me. What? She asks when she catches me looking at her. I was just wondering, I say, about your life. Do you have, anybody? You mean humans? Nope. She gives a little flick of her stubby tail. Never have, never will. You've been on your own this whole time? I flash on my cushy bed, my lovely food bowl, and the way everyone knows just how I like my ear scratches. Yep. How'd you end up here? Was scrounging for food. Just another litter, and I was tired, off my game. Animal control got me. She looks a nasty cut on her front paw. Wait, my ears pick up. So you have puppies? That would make me an uncle, a dog uncle, on top of being an honorary elephant uncle. I had the last batch 7, maybe 8 weeks ago. She scratches at a flea. Last batch, I repeat. You mean you've had others? Yep. What happened to them? I don't know. It's not like they come home for the holidays, Bob. Boss lies down on the old towel lining our cage. Or should I call you Rowdy? She considers. Nope. Nah, I like the sound of Bob. Me too. Anyway, Boss says, mostly they're dead, I guess. You never know, though. Maybe a few got rescued. She's so matter of fact and so resigned. This last litter, well, I thought I was onto something. Found this little car, those ones that look like a big old bug, abandoned, right down by the creek near the bridge. Easy access through a hole in the floorboard. That blanket in the back seat, she pauses. All the amenities. How many puppies, I ask. 3, but only one survived, a male. The other 2 are pretty sickly and, well, Something crashes into the front office. Sounds like a window is broken. We gotta get out of here! An orange-striped cat howls. He throws himself against the front of his cage and then pokes out his paw, grabbing for the latch. I'm too young! When they caught me, Boss continues, ignoring the cat, I barked for the puppy to sit tight, to wait. I told him I'd be right back, she sighs. Nice. Last thing you'll ever hear was a lie. What's his name, the puppy? She looks at me like I asked her if she's ever been to the moon. I don't name them, Bob. It just makes it harder. Below us, the water slowly rising, filling the empty lower cages. We watch the humans rush back and forth, carrying buckets as if they can stem the tide. There's nothing to do, nothing to say, and nowhere to go. Not right. I stare at my sister and try to imagine all the pain she's endured. And here I thought I'd gotten the raw deal. To lose your pups, to wander alone, to struggle for every drop of water, every crumb of food. I mean, I experienced a little of that, but Ivan and Stella kept me going. And then Julia and her family. Why me? What is so special about me? Is it really that I'm more resilient? That I've made my own luck? Am I somehow better than Boss, more deserving? It's not right, I blurt. It's not right you should have had it worse than me. Well, if you want to talk about not right, you and I both had it a whole lot better than our siblings, Boss said. I'll never forgive those people for what they did to us, I say through clenched jaws. Really? Boss seems surprised. If I held on to that much anger, I'd never get out of bed. Not that I've ever had a real bed. She sniffs the towel beneath her feet. This towel's kind of nice, actually. I look at her in disbelief. You're one of those? Those dogs who must forgive no matter what types? She almost looks amused. Well, it's kind of her thing, right? When someone does something hurtful, they have to admit it, I say. They have to be punished for it. And then maybe if they apologize and change, maybe then they get forgiven. All I know is I've done lots of bad stuff in my life, Bob. I've had to forgive myself plenty, just, to get through the day. Boss gazes at me with her wise, watery eyes, and I figure if I'm going to forgive myself, I better be ready to cut everybody else some slack, too. Evacuate now. Look, says the officer, you need to evacuate now. It's mandatory. We can't just leave these animals. Cowboy sticks his finger in the orange cat's cage. The cat rubs against it, purring like his life depends on it, which maybe it kind of does. Here's the kitty. Remember, I promised you that everything was going to turn out okay for all of our animal friends when we started this book. I'm just reminding of that promise now. The officer sighs. You don't have a choice. We can't just leave them, says Boots, and I have to applaud her enthusiasm, even as I wonder why she risked her life for us. There's no explaining humans. I just got word that the bridge over in Big Fork Creek collapsed, the officer says. You guys gotta move. Boots snaps her fingers. Wait, you have a cop car, right? Yes, I have a vehicle, ma'am, says the officer, but the ways the roads are looking, not for long. Okay, says Boots. So we evacuate. We evacuate every last dog, cat, and gerbil we can get into your car. The officer purses his lips. And take them where exactly? Shelter at the high school. That's where we've been sending people. They're not really set up for it, but once we started flooding and the elementary school stopped taking pets, they agreed to do what they can. The officer grumbles, considers, goes for it. The three humans load cats and dogs, parakeets and hamsters, one after the other in the police car. Some are in cages, and some, including a couple of unhappy cats, are on a tug-of-war string. Finally, it's our turn. Looks like there are 9 of us left. Car's full and then some, the officer reports, struggling to shut the shelter's front door against the rising water. We are officially out of room. Cowboy looks at us, his eyes teary. Don't worry, fellas, we'll be back, he sniffles. I promise. You think we should leave the cages open to give them a fighting chance, says Boots, in case, sure, but they can't handle this current. I can barely stand up. Cowboy shakes his head. Look, I'll borrow my brother's bass boat. We'll come right back. Hopefully the water won't get much higher than this. Okay, then, Boots gives him a grin nod. Stay calm, friends. Like that's an option. Preparing for the worst. The wind slows for a moment and the room goes silent. We stare at the black pool swallowing the cages below. A chew toy shaped like a pink turtle floats past. It's just us and a whole lot of water. Don't forget, they're going to be fine. I check out the group. 2 cats, 1 bunny, 6 dogs, including Snickers, Boss, and me. There's nowhere to jump. No tables, no cabinets, no space above the upper cages. And as Cowboy pointed out, the current is probably too strong for us to tackle anyways. Folks, don't give up hope. You heard them, I said. They're coming back for us. No way are they coming back, said a sad-faced beagle mix. Give me a break. You never know, I say. I'm such a lousy liar. Well, yes, we do, my sister mutters, just loud enough for me to hear, and we share a look. All right, so is it going to be the humans that come? Is Bob going to be clever and get them out? Or is somebody else going to come? It's a good time to predict. Look, chances are the water won't get too much higher, I say. But just to be on the safe side, pile up everything you have in your cage. Bowls, toys, towels. Who died and made you pack leader? Asked a big mutt with a graying snout. Well, it beats howling like babies, I say, and instantly I remember landing in Stretch's domain. Howling like the baby was exactly what I did. I had a dog biscuit this morning bigger than you, says Gray Muzzle. What about me? Someone squeaks. Does the bunny get a vote? Hold on, Thumper, says the orange cat. This clearly is a job for higher feline intellect. No, a sharp voice rises above the din. Listen to Bob. He's annoying, and his hygiene leaves a lot to be desired. But I've seen him get himself out of all kinds of scrapes. Thanks for the props, Snick, I say, especially the kind word about my odor. The wind groans and something metallic hits the side of the building. We fall silent again, waiting for more. The windows rattle, the walls shudder. It's like the building is scared as the rest of us. So, Snicker says, breaking the gloom, you heard Bob. Start stacking. How about my litter box? Asks a small white cat with dark green eyes. Would that work? Sure, I say. Use anything. The goal is to get as high as you can. And then what? Asks young Dachshund. Worst case, we swim for it, I say. That's actually not the worst case, says the bunny. No one asks what is. We already know. We do all we can do, which isn't much. The rain hammers, the wind shrieks, sirens come on, go in the distance. I wonder what Ivan and Ruby are doing. And what about George and Julia? Where are they? How are they? Boss seems scary calm, tough as old jerky. She looks the way I want to feel. Before long, the water is lapping to the floor of our cages. It's ice cold and moving quick. 1 inch, 2. Every now and then somebody whimpers or moans, but mostly we're quiet. If you can stand on your hind legs, guys, do it. Climb on anything you got, I suggest. I turn to Boss. When I say go, I want you to climb on my back. It'll buy you a little time, maybe. No way. Please, I need to do this. Boss just stares at me. She's so thin. I can see every rib. I'll make it up to you, I add. What are you even talking about, Bob? I look away. I'm sorry, I say, not sure where my words are taking me. I should have saved you, Boss. Saved me? The thing is, I heard you on the highway and I should have. My voice trails off and I stuttered. I stifle a sob. Bob, we were puppies. Tiny puppies. Don't be ridiculous. How exactly were you going to save me? I don't know, but I should have tried. We both did what we had to do. Boss nudges me gently. Bob, this is crazy. I can't seem to forgive myself. I whisper it, but I know she hears me. Beneath the water, I feel a paw on mine. I forgive you, okay? Not that you need it, mind you. One condition, though. I nod and wait. You have to forgive yourself, too. Again, I nod, slowly but surely. Something fine and warm begins to fill my heart. Romeo. Before I can say anything more, Snickers calls my name. Bob, dear, there's something I want you to know. Bob winks at me. Listen up, brother. Sure, Snickers, what's up? Ahem. Snickers makes a little throat-clearing noise. I've kept this locked inside of me all this time, but now facing the end, I feel the need to unburden myself. There she is, a little what, huh? Really, Snick? I say quickly. There's no need for that. The thing is, Snickers pauses for dramatic effect. I love you, Bob. I always have. I love the way your cute tail gets all curled between your legs when you're embarrassed. I love the way you hum to yourself when you chew your kibble. I love the way you drool when you take a nap. I think I'm getting the picture, Snick. Thanks. That's awfully nice of you to say. And Snickers says, Boss can't hide her amusement. Go ahead, Bob, she whispers. What can it hurt? We're all going to die anyway. Bobo, Snickers calls. Yeah, sure. I think you're pretty swell too, Snick. And what is it that you love about me? I close my eyes. I take a deep breath. Well, those pink boots of yours, those are cool. And I swear I'm totally drawing a blank. In fairness, the water's up to my belly and my teeth are chattering so loud that I can't even hear myself think. And, I begin. Oh, come on. How hard is it? Yells a bunny who perched on the wet Timothy hay. She's a looker and she's smart and she's too good for the likes of you. Try that, Romeo. You're a looker and you're smart and you're way too good for the likes of me, I repeat. Snickers lets out a contented sigh. That wasn't so hard, was it? Boss asks. I groan. Sis, you have no idea. An interesting life. An awful noise comes like a tree trunk splitting in two. While we watch in disbelief, a piece of the roof, the size of a Great Dane, simply vanishes. Water gushes through the hole in torrents. Boss, I say it's time. Jump on my back. And that's a good idea about why exactly? Maybe because you'll get your turn, I say. Your chance to have things go your way. I've had an interesting life. I want you to have one too. Bob, at best you're buying me a couple extra minutes, Boss says. Sis! I'm like 30 seconds older than you. You're not the boss of me. Please? Why? Just because you're a guy? I could take you down in a second with 3 paws tied behind my back. And if you get out of here and I don't, I continue ignoring her, there's a place I want you to go. Sit on the front porch. Wait for the humans who live there. Who are you kidding, Bob? We're both about to die. Remember, they're going to be fine. 3 blocks up, 4 houses down to the left. Look for the big oak tree. Guy named Nutwit lives there. Nutwit, she said, suppressing a smile. Say it, I commanded. Fine, whatever. 3 blocks up, 4 houses down, Nutwit. We go back and forth like this, arguing, bantering, trying not to hear the terror of our cage mates, and I think that maybe I'm starting to hallucinate a little. I'm starving, I'm freezing, I'm feeling kind of dizzy. All the smells and sounds are mingling together, and as crazy as it seems, I actually think I catch a whiff of Ivan. Well, that's kind of cool, I said. At least I'll be remembering my best buddy when I die. There are worse ways to go. Hey, the water laps at my mouth, foul tasting and frigid. Now, I say to my sister, get on my back now. I am saving you whether you like it or not. Something in my choked voice scares her, I guess, because she leaps right onto my back with a horrified yelp. I blink back muddy water. A silver presence looms before me. Still, I'm not entirely sure it's him until I get a real big whiff of banana. Hey, Bob, says Ivan. giant monkey and sea monster. The screeches of terror are ear-splitting, and my poor ears have endured plenty by this point. Folks, I cry, relax. He's here to save us. Johnny! Screams the orange cat. Johnny! I beg your pardon, says Ivan. The bunny cowers in the corner of her cage. If King Kong is here to eat us, I'd rather drown. Screams the beagle. An arched gray trunk glides past. Ruby! I exclaim. She's just tall enough to keep her head above the water. Ivan, Ruby! Snickers calls in a delighted voice. Over here, dears. Long time no see. Hey, Snickers, Ruby says. Snickers wags her drenched tail puff. My, how you've grown, sweetie. Excuse me, says Gray Muzzle, but maybe the happy reunion could wait till we're, not underwater. Ivan taps his chin. He's always slow, always deliberate. I like that about the guy, except when I'm about to drown. We need to get all of you to higher ground, he says at last, but the current's tough to fight even for Ruby and me. There's always the roof, I say, but it's damaged. Ivan nods. Seems there's a tree on it. Look, Uncle Bob, Ruby says, paddling back and forth. I'm an Ella mermaid. The kid always makes me smile. Good work, Ruby. I've got an idea, says Ivan. It'll take multiple trips, so I'm going to start with the smallest creatures and work from there. My sister gazes down at me from her perch on my back. You actually know this ape? He's my best pal, Ivan. Oh, he's my best pal. Ivan and I go way back. A long pause follows. Bob, Boss finally says, you weren't kidding. You really have had an interesting life. And they are rescued. Thanks for reading.